इसका सर मैं मेल भेज दूंगा, आपके सिस्टम में नेट नहीं चल रहा। ये भी आ रहे हैं ना, क्लास स्टार्ट करा दो, बीच में कैसे करूँ? 12:15 बजे कर दूंगा, क्या दिक्कत है? क्लास खत्म होने में कर दूंगा, कर आप डेट भी कर रहा हूँ। ये एंट्री करा दे प्रैक्टिकल वाली, प्रैक्टिकल वाली एंट्री करा दे। यहाँ से ऊपर की बात है। बात हुई ना डायरेक्ट करूँगा, बात हुई ना डायरेक्ट करूँगा, की बात किसके नाम पे, किसके नाम पे?
Good morning to everybody. Now today again the MMPC 011 social process and the behavioral issues. Today we have to cover up the block 4 is emerging trends, unit number 13, 14 and 15. Now unit number 13 is your organizational inclusiveness, and unit 14 is your diversity management, and unit 15 is your positive approaches to work behavior. So now first we have to try to understand what is the inclusiveness. Inclusions, basically, we have to, at the present it is evolved globally. Now the things are how to improve the inclusiveness so that the present barriers or the problems can be sought out, and then having new organizations where we can see the inclusiveness, the operational inclusiveness. So where the work diversity is one of the issues, the positive outcome of the workforce diversity is it brings the new thinking and the ideas, talents, experiences, broader view points of the organizations. It means in the organizations there are a lot of different people are coming from different places with their different cultures, their different experiences, their different ideas. So when they are sit together in particular the organizations, so there are a lot of various ideas, different type of experiences when they are sit together, they think in different. So best alternatives can be obtained. We can obtain the best ideas. So that is the advantage. So if the suppose for diversity is not there, people are not coming from the outsides. They are only the local peoples or particular within the area, that democratic, that areas people are there. So what happened? The culture will be the same, and almost the think process or upbringing of the particular that areas employees are almost the same. So they are exploring in new ideas, may or may not be. So chances will be less. But rather we can see if the diversity is there. There are different people are coming, different experiences, different culture backgrounds. So then it will be mixed and giving comprehensive ideas can be achieved. So that's why the inclusiveness are very much required to allow the people to express their new ideas in the organization. So to maximize the profit within the global framework, organizations need to become more diversified. So that is the second point, that's to maximize the profit, because if the new ideas, new innovatives are coming, so it means your productivity will be increased, new product you can launch in the product in the market. So this is the way your marketability and the productivity will be increased, and undoubtedly the profit will be increased. So that is a basic way. It helps them to relate the global customers and they increase the market opportunities. Market opportunities also to be increased, because when the particular organizations where they are already inclusiveness, they have all the diversity matters, they are managed nicely. So other countries people will give a order for that. Joke, this company is very good because they have maintained, they have managed the diversity very well, and the inclusiveness are there, lot of ideas and innovatives are there. Just for example, the Apples and a lot of multinational companies, there are a lot of different countries people are working. Different nature, different ideas, different type of qualified people are working. So their productivity is also high and their profit also high. Now, diversity embraces respect of the acceptance, basically the acceptance of the individual's differences. Because differences is there, idea is also different. But out of that, the different dimensions of it. So their gender differences, sexual orientations are there, social economic conditions, demographic status is also different. So physical abilities are not same. So it is all of the differences are there. Religious beliefs is also different. So political ideas and the other ideologies also different. So diversity can classify in three pillars, three ways. One is the workforce diversity, another is your behavioral diversity, and your cognitive diversity. Now see the workforce diversity. So it includes similarity and the differences among the people in terms of different culture, background, gender, race, ethnicity, age, religions, physical abilities and disabilities, sexual orientation
में पोजीशन को होल्ड करके रखो,
economic
ठीक है?
background.
तो मार्केट देखो इतना इजी मार्केट ये सेलर का एरिया सुबह से डिसाइड कर लिया था.
Differences are there, but now includes all this, and so that you can have a same common platform and the ideas can be come out. Another is the behavioral diversity. It encompasses of the work styles because their surface area we can see there are what the way the style of this company, thinking styles, learning styles, communication styles, aspirations, beliefs, value systems, changes in attitudes and the expectation of the employees. These all are in the category of behavioral diversity. Now last is your cognitive diversity. It focuses on the diversity of thinking, innovations, some new product. So it is represented by 4 dimensions. Because you see, those who are scientists or research and development department, or so they are high thinking, lot of think tank, whatever that we can see, that is there they should have some perspectives, interpretations, then your ethnicities, predictive models. These all are represents. Cognitive diversity results in a high performance while dealing with the complex tasks. At global level, business leaders are making great efforts to create an atmosphere where the opinion of each employee and their suggestions are valued and considered. So most of the global companies, their business, all business leaders, they are full time that they are thinking how to develop their company or organizations, so that they are creating some of the atmosphere where people can allow to discuss, they can fearlessly, they can give their ideas, the alternatives, whatever the things, they can tell suggestions also. So, and at the same time, valued. Okay, yes, it's good. You can also participate, you can give your ideas. So, it's considered. So, then only, it should not be left out in any areas. So, people will be happy to give their opinions and ideas and suggestions, and best optimum solutions can be achieved. Inclusions. So inclusion is basically the integral element of the diversity. Inclusiveness and diversity are almost same. It's a part of the systems. It's a integral part. Inclusion works for the people who are slightly different. Countries which are much diverse will have to struggle for inclusion to everyone, because where the country, suppose for our India, you see there are very difficult for it, because where so much diversities, there are so many languages, so many cultural systems, and state to state. If you think about 200 kilometers in the India, every time you can see the changes, the languages changes, their cultural changes, attitudes also changes. So there it is struggling. That's all the time. For inclusion to everyone are very difficult tasks, because their ideology is different, and above the party line is different. So it is very challenging jobs. So those the countries are more diverse natures. So it is very difficult for them. But unique thing is, if you capable, or if you do these things, then if you are performing to how to inclusion process, if it is good, then definitely it will come out good solutions, and because lot of things and ideas are coming. You see in our India, a lot of entrepreneurs, startup companies are starting, and worldwide you see now we focus on India because how they are improving. That is the unique things, and it's our asset, you can see. So all the inclusions are, so we have to do it very fast, the inclusion process. So inclusive organizations recruit and retain the diversified workforce and the leaders to represent the racial and the ethnic compositions of the communities they serve. Because a lot of our old culture systems are there. Some of the things are good, some of the things may not be. Organizations. So how to define these organizations are inclusive organizations? So what are the characters should be? So it accepts the diversity and the implements of inclusion strategy should be there. Measurable behavior and the competencies. Then your inclusive organizations recruit and retain the diversified workforce, and your transparent policies and procedures. So policy should be transparent. Consistency in practice of interactions with everyone, and learning cultures. So here we actually are just giving emphasis on learning cultures, because you see the training is there. Every company has some training systems. But trainings, after the training, it may need again the retrainings. It may not be sufficient for the to do the jobs. Maybe the training is basically to give you some of the action plan. What are the things are required right now? You give it to them so that they can start the work or something. But learning culture is different things. You have to have some learning cultures so that continuously you have to learn. That atmosphere have to create it so that the employees can be motivated and they are updated. Skills, upskilling is quite continuously. Definitely, training is one of the directions that they give you some directions what to do, basic ideas they give. But that culture should be developed learning. So everybody should learn what he is doing and what to do. That the concept should be clear. So another part is your conflict resolution systems at all levels, because conflict it is inevitable. You cannot avoid the conflict. Everywhere it will be there. It maybe the degree of conflict may be high, may be less. But so that system should be there if the conflict is there, suppose. So solution also to be there, and people can start thinking immediately, and solution should be there. Yeah. Suppose in the morning some conflict has noticed something. So in any, maybe in the production areas or something somewhere. So what problems? What are the problems? Conflict is nothing basically the disagreement. Let's say the conflict is basically the disagreement. So if it is happened, so immediately within an hour, committee should be formed, panel should be formed, expert people should be there, and then it should be a solution should be there. It should not be longer or prolong the things. So if it is prolonged, then conflict may increase, then density will be increased, and it may be out of control sometimes. So that system should be there in all levels, maybe in the production cells, in the marketing, or in the managerial level, also in the top. Everywhere, the system should be there. Expert team should be there. Immediately when it has noticed, they can go for solutions on the spot. Active participant in the community activities. That is also very important. Any community activities, active participation is also very important. It is where actually I am talking about all these things. We are discussing basically how to define the characteristics of the inclusive. If all these things are there, we can say yes, it's inclusive organizations. So that is one way you can do definitions. You can say the inclusive organizations contains the systems there, the conflict resolution systems, participate in the community activities, and that vision should be there, missions, core values, everything should be there. And another aspect is change management. When all these things are in a particular organizations, it is there, then we can call it is a inclusive organizations. So if questions may come, what is the how do you define the organization's inclusiveness? And that time you have to focus on these areas. You can say diversification systems are there. It is measurable. What the behavior and competencies are measurable. That systems is there. Transparent policies are there. Procedures are very good, and learning culture is also there. Then you can say the conflict resolution systems are there. All the community activities are participated by the employees, and change management systems also there. So all these parameters, when you are discussing, if you written, then your answer will be good, and then we can say it is a organizational inclusiveness. Now, what are the benefits? Suppose in a particular organizations there are inclusiveness are there. Okay, agreed. But now we have to see what will be the benefits. Benefits. Now we can list out some of the benefits are there. High job satisfactions. If all these things are there, which I just now I have discussed in the previous slides, if the particular organizations everything are there, then we can say we can definite higher job satisfaction will be there. And there another thing is the lower turnovers. Turnovers is not on the profit and loss, but here actually we are talking about the concern of the HRM. Turnover means the employee, how long they are sustained, how long they are in the retaining the organizations. They're not leaving from the company after 2 years service or so they are joining the other company. No. So turnover will be lower if the system is good, salary system is good, they are all are happy, they are doing the job situation are there, everything is there, then definitely the turnover will be less. Another benefit is your higher productivity. The productivity will be high. People will be happy. When the people are happy, definitely they have to work more. And in turns, it is your productivity. Means profit is already, company will be profitable. Then another aspect is the benefit is your higher employee morale. The morale of the employee will be high. Improved creativity and innovation. People will start thinking for creativity because your system is very good. You are not stressed. Your job satisfaction is there. Then people will start some creativity. innovation will be coming up. That is another thing. Then another aspect is improved problem solving, because when the employees are very happy, they are cordially helping each other, that will improve of some things. If somebody has problems, then other colleagues, other employees can come out, they can come and handle the situations very nicely. So there will be a cohesive nature, people will start working. Another thing is we can say in straightway in the last, in one sentence, better employees. We can say whether the inclusiveness are there, particular organizations we can say definitely there are all better employees are working. Now coming to some of the organizational inclusiveness. Again, some part WHO, I think we probably know that is the World Health Organizations. They have also defined to some of the things, whether the areas are neglected, some of the things, basically the disabilities. Because as you know, there are a lot of people are disabled are there, they cannot work very nicely, they can physically they are weak. So that also to be part of the organizations, they have to see that they have to do all these things. So disabilities are the, I can say that is covering the inspirations. Activity limitations are there. And so that's why their participation is also restrictions. Because when you are in a meeting, so definitely we are looking the good persons, means active. But disabled participation of release were really neglected in this area. Because when you know he is blind or he is a handicapped, what he can come in the meetings. No, better he can take rest. So that's why sometimes you are avoiding the handicapped people's employees. But it should not be. What WHO is saying, we have to include them also. That is the totality, total inclusiveness, we can say. So that's anyway. So disability, it is a very complex phenomena because disabilities is complex because they are reflecting sometimes their body is not permitting, the features is different, society is also not taking at par with the other humans. So that is a really challenge. Now issues. Now you see what are the challenges. If the questions comes during the implementation of the inclusiveness in your organizations, what will be the challenges? What are the issues that there? Till that time, you have to define in such a way the persons with disabilities have risks of being the passed over the competition, because they cannot join in any competitions in the jobs. Because in the livelihood, from the by birth, they are disabled. So we have to consider it and take some proper actions. So there are several sets of challenges are there, which will really hamper the right of these individuals. Inadequate access to education of the training, because they are not getting the training, even maybe they are not available, not the capacity to perform the training programs with the others. So that is one of the challenge. Social and psychological barriers are also there. Discriminations of the hire and the promotion and the employees. Suppose in the particular organizations, they are in the managing director post or something. So definitely the disabled persons chances will be less, because they have to move, to go there, to meeting, they have to speak something. So that physical fitness and maybe the knowledge wise is the same, but considering that high level post, you should have something to consider the physical fitness also. So discrimination is there in the employees. Why I am talking about this is all the part of the challenges and issues of this that you have to keep in mind. Then attitudinal behaviors is also there. There are so many issues are there. I just list out some of the things. Now, attitudes also there, and stereotypes, and then there are workplace policies and the procedures. So that is also our challenge, because sometimes the policies are also not allowing the things. So that's why we have to have some good education policies, training programs are required for the disabled persons. Now, after that, again, very big issues nowadays. Now is a very good topic. Now I would like to say something. Gender diversity is very important because you see, the gender diversity in the organizations is not only the limited, equal right is equal treatment is equal. Until and unless we are not considering the woman, male, female, disability, that differences is there, then we cannot say the correct diversity is not in the organizations. Inclusiveness are less. So we have to have some careful about the gender diversity also. It's also a part of the total diversity management part. Another things are in the global, not in our India, maybe in the outer world, Europe countries and USA and somewhere. There is another issues are there. That's your acknowledgement of the other things. So global economy, it moves. Another is the transgenders. I think as you everybody knows, the sexual minorities we are saying, that is LGBT in short terms, in the LGBT. That is very dangerous. Now we can see the estimated surveys saying maybe the more than 1 million people are transgenders in the world. If I'm not in the correct figures, it may be the journals as well. So how to accommodate this? That's a very challenging. The global economy moves diversity to the top of the agenda. Now, in the global level, all the companies, all the organizations are now basically they are focused on this part. How to they should come in the mainstreams, because the mainstreams in the sense because the transgenders we are keeping in a very separate way. Socially, they are not. Even in the nowadays the law and the regulations has come. Government are keeping some quota, just like for the general quota, OBC quota, transgenders quota is also now there. Putting some quotas on this. It means we are looking of the to distinguish, to define what are the differences in the gender diversities, try to be reduced so that all the peoples, all the human, we can say in the term is that all the humans should have a participate. They can contribute in the organizations in terms of the nation's building. They should also participate. And thus, one survey I can recall in mind. One things are coming in my mind. That is one people have surveyed that there some of the transgender people they are giving a good ideas. When he has surveyed during these things, there's lot of alternatives and good ideas will come from the transgender people. They are just because of the physical the God changes their body structure is different, but their ideas, their knowledge is at par with the talented people. So that talents are unseen. Means basically some of the talents areas are unseen. We are not take them as a mainstream. So that is the loss. That is in terms, it is a loss of the country. So we have to look after these things. If we are really do the correct diversity, so definitely that people also to be considered. So there is a growing demand. There is a growing demand for the equivalent authority. Equivalent authority means they should also give it in the worker levels, in the manager levels. Lesbians and the gays or bisexuals and the type. There are a lot of things. That's the in terms in short. That's the LGBT. Now worldwide is a very now focus. Most of the companies are focused on these things. How to take them in the mainstream. Now obstacles. Now what are the obstacles? Obstacles are various. We can say it, or we can see the problems. Because the resistance to women's leaderships, that is one of the issues. Because most of the companies, they don't see the woman managing director, woman CEO. That, but now it has changing. That ideas, because it is maybe 10 years before or 20 years before it was like this. But now a lot of CEO are the women. As ACI, they are like one of the CEO is women. There are a lot of other companies there. They are the top executives. Now it has changed. Now the scenario has changed. Earlier, it was a barrier. So, another barriers are there part-time workforce, because in our organizations there are mostly in the production system, part-time workers, ad hoc basis workers are there. That it may be some of the cultural differences. There are some attitudinal problems with there, because those who are in the permanent or they are not in part-time basis, they are considering as a leading. They are taking the leading part, commanding the things. But that difference is also to be considered. So workplace. That's another part is overcoming the barrier. How to overcome the barriers? Okay, problem will be there, that inevitables, we cannot change the bare problems. But how to overcome the barriers? Professional networking is very important. Guidance of the mentor and the sponsors and the self-promotions, helping to drop out moments. I can put some of the things which I think during the COVID times, you can see the lot of companies are started their work from home, and that there's another. Not only that, a lot of job cuts, job losses. 15 days salary has been adopted at times. So that is a problem. But now, even after the scenario, now the post-COVID, it has been seen that most of the companies they are saying the women's no, they are maybe the maternity leaves, they are work from the home, their promotion will be not there. So that a lot of problems are facing the women workers nowadays, and how to cope up with all these things. So that's why most of the multinational companies, Maruti Udyog, I know, and another company is multinational Wipro, and some of the IBM, they are started some of the counselors. I mean, they are contacting with those who are working in the work from home. They're interacting every day. They're interacting with kids. How are you? How is your son, daughters? Just to give you motivations. So we are also a part of your company. Even though you are working from the home, doesn't matter. You are also a part of this company. Definitely we take care in your promotion and other times. Please you do your work nicely. So that motivation, they create some of the motivations so that they should not feel that we are isolated. We are not going to the offices. No. So helping the things. And some of the those are in the job cuts, or maybe they have dropped out. They are leaving the jobs because of maybe the maternity leave or something 1 year. So call them if you are feeling, if you have the record, they are already done very good jobs during that period. So you have to call them again. Okay, madam, please come and join our company again, because that asset, they are all our assets. So that way you can overcome. I'm just giving a few ideas only, which are published in the company are adopting. So overcoming the barriers, that is the things. If the questions are coming in the exam, so how to overcome the barriers? Problem is there. Then you have to say something. Some of the ideas are there. Company have already started doing this. Another aspect is women empowerment, because if you are looking after the strengthening the gender diversity, so definitely you have to focus on your women empowerment. Inclusive organizations focus on the attracting and evolving advancing the women. Until and unless you are advancing the women, they are not given the benefits or that type of infrastructures, then it will be a problem. So you have to give some of the infrastructures and facilities and motivations for the workers. So by empowering the women, they are expanding the opportunities for within the organizations. Growth. They are also part of the total growth of the organizations. So movement, some lot of movement is required. We can say that if movement is not there, then that is called the movement when inclusiveness. Lack of understanding within the community, and it is some of the things are failure. This is another part. Cultural attitudes to change. It should be in same. Maybe the different ideologies, we have a different arguments there, the conflict will be there. Even though above all the party line, think about it, how to give it best effort we can give for the organizations. Now management. Now part is your diversity. Now so far we have discussed about what is the diversity, what is the type of this, what is the problem in the diversity. Now we are coming in the management. Now when talking about the management means there should be some systems. Now when you are talking about any management, not only the diversity management means nothing. Just system. It should be a good system. Somebody has to monitor it. So similarly, the diversity management in the workforce can ensure the advantage of the environment at the work and benefits of innovation, improve the morals, teamwork, harmony against the workers. So some teams should be there who are monitoring all these diversity processes going on. So looking all these things, monitoring all these things, we can say, we can call it as a diversity management. That's all. Now, then another thing, what are the competitions? Now you see the competitors are there. When you are in the business, so definitely you have to see the focus on the other companies, other business. So what will be the benefit for your, if the diversity management you have? First things is fresh opinion will come. Enhance the company cultures, company efficiency, and employee innovations. Everything will be organic. Now, coming to your surface level diversities. It refers to a sort of diversity in which the features are observable. Age, color, sex, gender, business, balance, and disabilities, and physical size, and the just samples. Deep level diversities. The non-observable qualities, not the features, are exclusive in deep level diversities. Now, discriminations. So, discriminations in the workplace is based on the certain privileges and occurs when an employee is treated unfavorably because of gender, sexuality, race, religions, pregnancy, and the maternity of the disabilities. So discrimination can take many shapes, and its effect can be varied as the organizational context and the personal biases of the members. Now, various reasons behind the rise of the diversities. Why the company are looking for the diversities? Because the globalizations will give some pressures. Migrations, this is another drives, we can say it. Women workers, because a lot of women are there. So you should have a good diversity management. Aging populations, there are different age group populations are there, because those who are nearer to the retirements, freshers, and the mid-age groups. So there are mixed age groups are there. So that aging populations, that also you have to manage it. Political diversity is also there, because different trade unions, companies, there are different ideologies, there are different ideas of theirs. So that is also has to be managed. Implementing the diversity management strategies. What should be the strategy should be this to implement the things. First things, attracting the diverse employers. So now we are talking about the very interesting thing, that is your implementing. Now we have so far discussed the definition of diversity, then the diversity, why it is coming, what are the problems. That part we have to. Now I just try to recap the things. Now we have discussed the diversity management is also discussed. Now we are thinking how to implement. That is the last stage. How to implement of the things. So so that we can have some good strategies also. So first things. Suppose we have some diversity management. It should be aware in the employees. Okay, some going on. They have some committee. They have to propagate. They have to canvass. They have to circulate in the notice board itself. The employee should know from the today implementing stage diversity management will start. Management at the site. So that's why you have to attracting the diverse employees, especially. And then you have to select. The selections is also good. And career developments, retaining the employees, all these things, the procedure, what they are likely to be true for the companies, that should be advertised within the organizations so that it can involve all the employees. Suppose some department is implementing some of the things, but other department they don't know, then it is not a success of the particular organizations. So everybody should be aware what is going on in the organizations. So that's why they're attracting. Diverse employees means those who are, suppose for example, you are in the particular organizations where some of the South Indian people are there. From the Tamil-based languages there. They are always facing some of the problems. They don't know speaking Hindi. Maybe their problem is there. That is also issue of the diverse employees. If you announce from today onward by the approval of the management, now you are deciding today onward, whatever the notes, whatever the draft, everything will be by languages, English and Hindi also. So then, because especially in the other country, in the Bihar and other states, they are drafting everything on Hindi only. They are facing problems. And it has been observed that most of the South Indian people, South Indian, they are not related to go their eastern side, I mean the Bihar or other country, states. They are looking the jobs in Delhi or Bombay or somewhere. So then we can use the populations, our population demography, the democracy was there. Then everybody should go in everywhere. They should not feel, no, I should not go to the Punjab, I have to speak in Punjabi, I should not go to Bengal, no, I don't know the Bengali, so no. Maybe it's a good job, but you are elected to go there because that is not diversified, but the language barriers are there. So that's why you have to attract the employees first. How their system should be there, selections, career development, retaining the employees, then only they can retain details. So anyway, the implement issues are, lot of issues are there. Now optimizations, so considering the key component of the modern positive technologies. So now we are actually talking about the behaviors, how to create the positive behaviors. Spiritual intelligence is also important in emotional. There are two things, SI and EI. That two things, the implementation time as a human, as a HR persons, you have to have some spirituality. You have to tools, convincing power should have. You have to some of the emotional things which you know where you have to speak, how, what the way you have to speak, what the way you have to approach. That things are also very needed. So optimizations is the power of positive thinking is general. Generally you should have some positive thinking. Otherwise, if you are starting in a negativity, if you are in your mind, then you cannot control as a human. You can control some of the instruments, give you some comment that start, but human control, it's a very different way. You have to take optimization out of the particular employees. So you should have some power for the positive thinkings. Now, another thing, motivations, because you see, until and unless we are not saying the motivation theories or motivation part, then everything will be underway. So motivation is required. How to motivate the people's desires, characteristics, and achievement. You have to listen the people's. It listens, and then after that you have to give some your opinion. No, it is not correct. Until and unless you are not listen, you cannot motivate any persons. So first things you have to listen, and then after that you have to motivate persons. So there are so many approach, so many models are also there. How to pattern, how to change the behavior of the humans. That is another issue. Another techniques are there. There are a lot of tools and techniques. Lot of test methods are also there. So it is all these things are required in the workplace. When you are working in a particular organization, you have to have an idea. Then only you can become a manager. You can say the manager should be aware of all these things. Applications. Now we are talking about some of the application examples. I'm giving you some examples. For example, as you know, one glass, half a glass of waters. So you can, your impressions, your perception will be changed. Some people may say half of a glass, and some people say it's a less of half full glass, half less from the full glass. It means it is a full glass, you are taking the full, complete glass, and half is not there. So this is not there. So which was the better? That is the approach of this. Another lot of theories are there against the positive approach parts. Another now if you worldwide and most of the companies they are focus on these things, health and happiness, well-being. That is their focus on these things. Because whatever the system, good systems you have, your diversity management is there, you have everything are there, all the infrastructures, facilities, AC, air condition, everything is there. So you are given full facilities, but there is no happiness, no well-being. You are not interacting with the people, then everything will be lost. So happiness and well-being is okay. That's why the interactions, interpersonal relationships are going on. Benefits of the happiness. Now, suppose you are happy. What will be the benefit? Benefit is happiness is the overall feelings of the well-being. The most ultimate element is when you are feeling happy, definitely your work performance will be also good. There are less mistakes, error will be less. So that is it is already truth and it is already well defined. When the people are happy, their error will be less. Now, general word, happiness and well-being. It means this is basically happiness and well-being are interchangeable. These all are complementary to each other. If you are happy, definitely you will be well-being. And if you have a well-being, definitely you will be happy. So it is all are complementary to each other. So that's why it is another way the SWB, the short form, plus now to say subject to well-being. In particular, all the company are now focused on the well-beings. It is coming in happiness, your health, everything are following all these things. SWB. Nurturing the subjective well-beings. Nurturing means you see when you are in a garden, you are some of the trees, plants you are definitely you are watering the things, you have to be nursing, the time to time you have to see cutting the trees so that they should grow nicely. And if any obstacles are there, so cleaning the things. So that things in the organizations also, all the subordinates, all the employees, they are also plant. Different plants are there. If you are looking after this, their well-beings, their health, their mentally, their skill, their capacity, their everything. So you feel when you start feeling all my subordinates, all my workers are different plants. It's my organizations, my plant, my gardens. So definitely you can have a good treatment you can give to this. And definitely it will be that atmosphere, happiness atmosphere will be developed. These all are very interesting because these are all emerging trends we are talking. I can assure the students at least 2-3 questions definitely will become. It will be not only for your MBA courses for the MBA. No, it will be required for your lot of competitive exams also. So this block, I'm requesting, please study this block very carefully and all the pages. It will not only for your passing mark of the MBA, it will require your throughout the life. It will be required. Now, serial thinkings, some of the associative thinkings and imitative thinkings. There are things of different way you can see. Some of the things are based on the IQ, because when you are in the mathematics, you are doing some of the calculations, then your thought processes are only in the math. So their IQ is different. But when you are associative, you are discussing something in the meetings or some things, there maybe IQ is also required, but at the same time, EQ is also required. Means emotional quality, your intelligence is also required. So that quantity are exactly not measurable, but how to weigh you are behaving the things, how to you are organize the things. So this all are your driving force, you can see. So it creates a patterns that we have recognized phases. Imitative thinkings, that is the pure intuitions, insightful, comes from each deeper minds. So all are where the imitative thinkings, where you can say there are two things are playing. Another one is your spiritual quantity and your EQ also. So both the things, emotional quantity and your spiritual quantity, both the things are combined when you are imitative thinking. Means creations, where when you are in insightful thinkings, oh, this is so nice. When you are seeing any flower, so that means you are the beauty, you are just enjoying this beauty of the flower. At the same time, that is your emotions. Oh, so nice flowers. But other way, the another things are playing in your mind is cute. That is spiritual things. Means that immediately you are giving thanks to the God. Oh God, you are creating such a good things. It is in your insightful mind, means spirituality. Because you are believe on God or some power, some things. So both the things are playing in your when you are thinking intuitive thinkings. So now we are discussing serial thinking, associative thinking, and positive thinkings. Now, I think spiritual intelligence we have discussed. Then another part is your emotional intelligence, EI. Most of the companies are required because during the selection process, it is very required. In the panel, I think I have seen in my experience I can share. The panel nowadays, one of the administrative people are there, one is from the personals, one is the doctor, psychologist, one of the psychologists also they are sitting in the panels, because they have to see the behavioral patterns of this particular recruitment times, because they really will be helpful for this particular person. Suppose some of the jobs are really required where the emotional intelligence are required, but you are selecting any wrong persons who don't have any emotional intelligence. So during the panel, during the interview, they are asking some of the questions in such a way they have to judge, they have to treat how best you are in emotional intelligence. It is inbuilt. It cannot be from the theory or books, cannot be possible. By the experiences, you can have a good emotional intelligence. So competencies, abilities, skills, at the same time, any company are also focused on the emotional intelligence also. Then there are three main emotional intelligence models. There are different models out there. Emotional intelligence are model based, is that right? Trait means in the sense TRAIT. Trait means in the sense part of the qualities you have. Another area the model is your ability. How to judge the ability? Trait in the sense I can say the way what the qualification you have. and what type of you are a sports person or not, or you are any social background or not. So all these things are considered. Then based on this, they can judge your emotional intelligence level will be this much because you are a sportsman. That definitely have some dedications. You are sincere. You are punctual. It is automatically by automatic the three dot points are coming in the panel. Those who are recruiting times. Any they have to focus. Oh, are you sportsmen? Then you need to ask anything because sportsmen means dedications. He has punctuals. He has a lot of commitment he has. So that is the one point. Another thing, the ability. How to judge the ability? It's also a part of the emotional knowledge. Ability means there are a lot of structured questions. There may be in the form of yes/no patterns, maybe in the Likert scales pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or very good understanding, strong enough. This is the way. There are different general questions. There may be some of the mathematical aptitudes. There may be some of the quick answer responses. There are different way. It is a combination of all types of math, science, general things or questions will be there. Based on this, okay, you do it. So this is the way ability test. That's the how much you are able to do things. So when we are putting in particular these jobs, how best you can perform. So that level, performance level, they can judge in the time of times. So that is the emotional models. Another models is this is a we can say that is your mixed models. Means where some of the traits are there and abilities also there. Where they have to judge you are from the childhood, you are a real sportsman or not, or maybe where you are born and brought up in the village or in the urban areas or maybe the metros. So that can guess it. If you are in the metros, definitely your exposure will be more. If you are in the village, then definitely maybe you are less exposed. So that is the way they can judge it. So they can count it. This is the way. Ability test, and by the time of discussion, conversations also, how much you are able to promptness is basically the responsives. How much your response, your abilities, your fearlessness, how nicely you are talking. So these all are the capacity of the ability test. Emotionals. Now the mixed models are basically combining the both things. That is the last model. Now here I am giving one of the tables. That is the one that is the tables are self-explanatory. You can see there's the approaches, self and associates. You see the first thing is awareness. Self-awareness is very important. And social awareness is also very important. Both the things. So social awareness, if you have a self-awareness, then definitely you can discuss with the others also. So self-awareness is the first priority, first thing. Then after that you have to go for social awareness. Now, in a regulations, in a other part is there. Now first you have to awareness is required, then self-management and the self-control, your temperament, your adaptability, your achievement drives, initiatives. So all are your self-management of how to control the things. And then similarly, relationship with the management. Relationship management is basically your inspirational leaderships, developing others, influence, change management, building the bonds, and teamwork on the team. Lastly, the teamwork and collaborations. So this is your relationship management. So that structure is given self versus socials. Both the way I'm saying, if you have the self, what is your responsibility, what you have to do it, and as a management. So okay, I think now we can close the session. So that is all the blocks has completed now. Block 1, block 2, all these 3 chapters, social process and behavioral issues. I hope everybody have gained some of the things. And next times we have to give you some of the case studies and others question patterns we have to discuss. Thank you very much. Thank you.